What's going on, guys? Klutch here. Welcome back to the channel. Guys, we're starting a bit of a new series here. In this series, we're going to be looking at new mods that have come out in the past week. Now, these mods are going to be obviously for PC only. They're direct download mods that come from various sites, but we'll be looking at them and see which ones came out in the last week. Ones that I thought were either really, really nice or just interesting, something different, or maybe even just a nice upgrade. So we'll start off today. We've got 4 mods to take a look at, all of which, well, they've all came out in the last week. So maybe you haven't had a chance to look at them yet or not. But as always, I will try to make sure that there is a link for every single one of these mods down in the description below where you can go download these. Now, all of today's mods are all over on the Mod Network, so you can go check them out there. And, well, let's dive into this. So like I said, for the mods today, we don't really have any kind of a theme. We've got, well, a nice big 6-axle dump trailer. We've also got a Ford LTL 9000 series truck. A lot of stuff to go over on that. What else we got over here? Well, this here is a Fortschritt TL12 Tieflader trailer. It's just a simple low loader, but there's something interesting with this one. We'll talk about that too, of course. And down at the very end, we've got a case 1455 or 1255. This is interesting. We'll talk a bit about this one as well. So let's go back to the start over here. Let's start off with the 6-axle dump trailer. So this trailer isn't exactly customizable. There's no actual customizations you can do. In fact, what you see here is exactly all you can get. There's no different colors. There's no different wheels. There is nothing with this trailer itself. But where it lacks in customization, it does look really quite nice. I mean, nice reflections. Actually, really nice reflections, just noticing now. But the only one thing I'm not a huge fan of is, well, it is stuck to Australia, which isn't bad. It's just I don't do a lot of Australian farming, so it looks a little bit out of place. That's the only thing. The trailer itself looks great. There's just not a lot of options to it. Now, it's just shy of 60,000 liter capacity on this, so you can fit quite a bit onto this. And its dumping action is really what kind of makes it cool. The whole thing dumps up. It's got a big hydraulic arm that pushes the whole trailer up and dumps it out the back. Now, I do have another one that's very similar to this, and it's a little bit more customizable, but this one here just looks substantially nicer. As far as the design goes. It also has a rear hitch back here, so if you want to do any kind of a road train, you can connect it to a dolly and connect another trailer behind it, so on and so forth. It has a tarp up on the top, you can see there. Unfortunately not customizable, you can't change the color of it, it's red and that's it. But the only other kind of interesting thing is this rear axle right here. This is a raisable axle, and it's not really just for looks. At least in my experience for it, it has an effect. And we'll show you a little bit more about that in a bit, but just know that this axle does move and it's an action of the trailer. So we'll look at that in a sec once we hook up our truck and mess around with it for a bit. So a 60,000 liter trailer, just love the way it dumps. We'll take a look at that shortly as well once we look at the truck, but not too bad. So 6-axle dump trailer. Now, speaking about the truck, this is the Ford LTL 9000, and well, so is that. And I could probably put like 4 more in here, to be honest with you. Guys, I could do a video alone on this truck. This is an amazing mod. It's absolutely fantastic. So, quite a few customization options on this, of course. Your standard gamut of, well, tires, engines, that kind of thing. Paint as well. I mean, we're going with like a nice cherry red chrome right now. This one here is a blue. There's some matte colors. There is the standard lizard colorings as well. There's not a lot of custom colorings. I find they're all fairly generic, I guess, is the word I would use, but there are those options, which is always nice to have as an add-on. Now, on top of, well, okay, your engines and your wheels. I mean, look at the wheels we got on this thing. Those are fantastic. And I might add, there's a ton more than that, which we'll show off in a second. But you have different bumpers, okay? We got different bumpers on here. There's one that's a big brush bar even on the front. You've got options for, well, tinted windows, not tinted windows, which I always do appreciate. You can get rid of the visor up on top. You can get rid of the air horns up there. You can see we've taken them off that one. Your exhausts have different options. Your frame on the semis have 3 different options. You can go with a short wheelbase. This is the medium. And you also have a long wheelbase, which is kind of what you have found on the flatbed right here. And then as well, you have a dump truck option. You have a flatbed option. You have a flatbed without ramps. You have an auto load option. Like, there's just a ton of options with this truck. In fact, I'm missing probably half of them because I'm not looking at the actual screen. So let's quickly dive over into the store and take a look at, well, all the different options. So you're going to find the truck in your trucks section of your store, of course, like all your other trucks. And right at the bat, you're going to notice, look at all the coloring options we have here. Rim colors, front fenders, dump, cab, tarp, chrome parts. That is crazy. That's a lot of different options for this. Well, there's a lot of different options for building this truck. So it's not all in one truck. It's all built in one menu system. Instead of having several different trucks in your store, it's all built out of this one piece. So let's change our cab just so you have an idea what we're looking at. Let's change it over to maybe a nice orange satin. So you can see here, the first 4 rows down, they're all kind of different colors, from satins to chrome, some of the metallic, sorry, the matte. They're a little bit different. So let's go with the orange satin. We'll change the front fenders to that orange satin as well. So you can see the satin, or the fenders and the cab are a bit different. Rim colors, yeah, we can change those if we want. The tarp as well, that is for the dump truck model. The chrome parts, that's a little bit different. We don't see that very often, so we can change that maybe to a black. There you go. So the black has been all replaced on those front bumper with instead of chrome, it's all black now. That's kind of cool. Now, let's start with the shorty. This little truck. So this is the semi-short model. And this removes some options, of course. It depends. There's a lot of options that are only available depending on which model you have. So we have the semi-short. We have the regular. That's the regular base model. You also have a long bed. That's not bad. Then don't forget a hook lift. Yeah, you can get it in a hook lift. You got a flatbed trailer. You have a flatbed with ramps. And then we move over to the dump. There's just so many options. So you have a full gamut of options with this truck. Now our wheels themselves, well, you saw the lizard wheels on the truck we had outside, but there's a ton of different rim options on this that all look very good, authentic. And then of course, well, you have a couple with chains. Now, the lizards don't have a lot of options there. You can see we have one. Let's go over to, well, we have Nokians, you've got Michelins, and the Michelins as well, before we go ahead, do look kind of cool. I do like the way the Michelins look, but if we go over to the Midas. The Midas are the ones that caught me off guard. So we have the regulars, but look at the chains we have for this. We have a ton of chain options for the Midas. Just totally different. Real logging style tires. Very cool. And then for our engines, we have 2 Cummins options, the 230, the 350, and then we go to a Caterpillar, which is the 3406, 375 horsepower max then. Exhaust pipes, well, you got options, 1 single, or you have a couple different options for duals. Those both look good. I don't mind that at all. We can delete the sun visor. Where did the sun visor go? There we go. Bumpers. Wow, man. A whole gamut of bumpers as well, guys. Flats, slanted, bull guards. You've got just a ton. I like this one right here, the heavy. That looks cool. Just a ton of different options here as far as bumpers go. You can really customize this truck, as you can see. Same with this here, side parts. Now, you need a longer bed, of course. It won't work with the short bed. But you can change whether you have the tanks, just steps, all that good stuff. What on the back here? The fenders can be changed. Yes, tons of different rear fender options. Air horns can be deleted. It doesn't change the sound of the truck, but it does remove the air horns off the roof if you don't like them. Tinted windows, yes or no. That's cool. I like having that as an option. And then auto load works as well. You have light and heavy auto load for the flat deck trailer. I'm not sure what the difference is between those two exactly. I wonder if one, yeah, anyways, I'm not sure exactly what it is. I think I might know, but I'll digress. We'll keep moving along here. Snow equipment, you can put in a tailgate spreader on the dump truck. The tag axle, you can add an extra axle in here. Dual or singles. And racks, you've got racks for headache racks, for logging racks. Like there's just, it's non-stop. This has more options than most ATS trucks has. Lastly, you have a trailer attachment on the back. There you go. Oh man, like I said, guys, an absolute ton of options with this truck. Now, let's go take this truck and trailer and dump a load off, shall we? So I put 60,000 liters of grain in the back of this trailer. It's ready to go. We can close that up. Oops. There we go. Without turning my turn indicator on. Now, it's interesting. You'll notice right off the bat that it looks like we're a little bit rear heavy, like I can't steer. And I thought that too. Now, there's a couple things we can do with this. Well, first of all, hey, Klutch, with that axle at the back? Well, yeah, we could drop that down. You can see there, we're going to lower it down. Nice. Now, that didn't really change things too much for me. I'm still not able to steer. What about this? We have an option with this truck to move the hitch point. So we move that all the way forward. That's a bit better, but you can see, guys, I still can't quite steer that well. Now this truck also has one more option with it, and then the suspension can be raised or lowered. So that's all the way up, that's all the way down, all the way up, all the way down. It's so minute, but now all of a sudden I can steer. And it's just kind of bizarre because it's not one thing. Like if I were to do, let me see here, if I just change one of that axle back again, is that going to change it? Yeah, it doesn't make a difference. Okay. I was noticing that it seemed like it wasn't just one thing that I fixed. It seemed like I had to do all three of them in order for it to work properly. It's an interesting setup, but the axle point on the trailer and as well that front lift seems to make a biggest difference for sure. All right. Now let's tip this in. Let's take a look at how that looks. There you go. Love it. That looks great. Nice looking tip from this big 6-axle trailer. Oh, man. So good. So just be aware, of course, if you have a barn-style drop-off point that has a low roof, this could cause you some problems. But if you have a big silo like this, you should be good to go. Anyways, that there, guys, is the trailer as well as the Ford, what is it, LTL 9000. Very cool piece of equipment. And next up, we have the Fortschritt TL12 Tieflader. Now, it's just a flat deck trailer. And for the most part, it is fairly generic in a sense. It's just nice that it's kind of small. It's not one of the big, massive ones that are kind of tough to maneuver around and get in the way. There's not a lot of options with it either, guys. It's very straightforward as far as, well, you can change the color of it. That's about it. Yeah, that is it, actually. You can change the color. So we've gone with an orange. It has all the standard lizard colorings. But the interesting thing about this, well, first of all, it's got the movable front axle, which can be a blessing and a curse, of course. But the really cool thing about this little trailer is the way you load it. And let me just engage it here, and I'll show you what I mean. There goes the loading mechanism, and it's all automated. This axle is still technically part of the trailer as far as the geometry goes, but of course it's off to the side now. And, well, if I disconnect the truck and drive it away, the trailer stays like this until such time that we park another truck that are connected and activate it and move the ramps back in. That's cool. I don't think I've seen another piece of equipment that does this. Put this back in. There it goes. It's going to fold the ramps in and put the axle back in place. That is cool. I like this. That's something totally different and yeah, kind of unique. Pretty cool little mod. And our last new mod of the week is the Case 1255-1455, and it's more of an update. So we've got a 1455 that's available in the game, but this one adds a bunch of options, and as well it adds a 1255 with some older decals and stuff to it. I do like the look of this tractor. This is the old school, so I think it's a 92 version. We're up to a 96 on this one here. Not bad. Now, as well with these, we jump into the cab. We can open, if I can remember what buttons do what here, we can open the door. We can open the back window. Is it already open? There we go, we open the back window. And as well, if I remember which one it is, which one is it here? I know it's one of them, there we go. We can open up the sunroof as well. That's cool. So it has a couple different options with it. Several different engine options, and we'll take a look at the store here, but like I said, there's a couple different variations to these tractors now. So in the store, you're going to find the Case has a couple different options for coloring. Not a ton. You have the Case used, the restored, and then the black beast. Same with your design color, white or black. Not a ton of options there. Oops. And then the rim colors, well, you have black or lighter gray. So not a lot of options for colorings, but that makes up for it a little later on. Weights up front or front hydraulic. Also, wheels, kind of standard stuff. Trelleborg, Midas, Michelin. Very standard stuff. You do have options for narrows, some doubles, and weighted wheels. You guys get the point there. Now, if we go down to our accessory stuff, we have different spots for exhaust. You can see that exhaust pipe changes a little bit depending on what we want to go with there. A couple different options there. And same with up top, we do have an option to change for the air filter. You can go low or high. All right. Beacon lights, a couple different options there again, just one or two. And fenders, you can add a wide fender, a narrow fender, or deleted fender. And then the most interesting option I find here is the engine setup. So we already have the 1455. Which one is it? This one right here would be the model we already have. It would have been in the mod hub. But now we have a 1255 in that same model, which is 125 horsepower versus the 145. And as well, if we go back down, we can go to the 92 version, which has the same engine, but it's just a different decal package, as you can see. And it has the same as the 1255. But we also have the Beast now, the Beast 1455, which is 165 horsepower. So another 20 horsepower on top of that, which is kind of nice. And then the other attachment option is for our front loader. We have a couple different options here as well, but they all work exactly the same. But that there is going to do it, guys. Those are the kind of the cool mods of the week. I hope you guys did enjoy that. For new kind of cool mods, I'll make sure the links are in the description as always. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Drop a like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to be caught up to news on Farm Sim with all the new mods that are coming out, as well as our Let's Plays and live streams. Anyways, guys, I hope you have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. This is Klutch. Over and out.